So we're evaluating negative 4 times 5 take away 2 times negative 3. There's a big bracket, and then there's something to do inside the bracket. What do you have to do first inside the bracket? This is what's inside the bracket. What's the first thing we do inside the bracket?
Multiply 2 by negative
Good.
3.
Multiply. Whenever you have a number next to a bracket, we know it's multiplication. What is 2 times negative 3? Negative 6. So I'm going to rewrite this over here. Shh. Negative 4, bracket, 5, take away. Okay, we're doing 2 times the negative 3 is negative 6. Or we could do 5 plus 6. Same thing, right? 5 take away negative 6 is the same as 5 plus 6. So now what do we have to do next? Do we still have a bracket? What's inside the bracket?
Subtract negative 6.
5 take away negative 6 equals positive 11. And we had this negative 4 in front, and it's negative 4 times 11 equals negative 44. That's it. In this question, we have 8 bracket x plus y squared divided by x squared. Whenever you have a variable represents a number, right? This question, they tell you what the variables represent. What does x represent?
Negative 2.
Good. And what does y represent?
Negative 1.
So what are you going to do with that information? Plug it in. Take the value, take the number, and wherever you see x, you're going to replace x with that value. Okay? So I want everyone to do that right now. 8. All I'm doing is replacing x with negative 2. Negative 2 plus negative 1 squared. Do I have to put negative 1 in brackets? Do I have to put negative 1 in brackets? Yes or no? Yes. Because, and I'm going to tell you this right now because this is also on your quiz. So like I said, it's very important that you put this negative 1 inside the bracket because y, it's all of y to the power of 2. Y is negative 1. That whole thing is negative 1. If I didn't put the bracket, your answer would be different, right? What is negative 1 to the power of 2? What's negative 1 times negative 1? Positive 1. Okay, let's continue writing this. Then we have x. Our denominator is x to the power of 2. What does x represent? Negative 2. Do I just write it like that? Negative 2 to the power of 2? Is that right? Yes, bracket. Thank you. Must put the bracket, otherwise your answer will not be correct. Okay, so all we've done first is we've substituted. Substitute the value into the expression. Now what? We're trying to evaluate it. Do we have brackets? Yes. Now I'm going to use a different color here. We have x plus y squared inside a bracket. So we have negative 2 plus negative 1 squared inside the bracket. Which part of that do you have to do first? Is there... Good, we have an exponent inside the bracket. So let's do that first. So I'm going to keep writing what I had. And then I have negative 2 plus, let's do our exponent first. What is negative 1 times negative 1? Positive 1. Good. Divided by negative 2 squared. We're not done the bracket. We still have to simplify the bracket. What's inside the bracket? Negative 2 plus 1 equals? Veronica? Negative 1. So let's write this over here. We have 8. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1 over negative 2 squared. Now what do we do? Simplify the numerator. What's 8 times negative 1? And the denominator, negative 2 to the power of 2 equals positive or negative? Positive 4. Let's simplify again. What is negative 8 divided by positive 4?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. negative 1 squared inside a bracket and this negative 1 squared are actually different answers. Yes. Because here, the first one, let's call this A. This is a quick little review. Oh, and let me do one more actually. In A, what is the base? What is the base? Raise your hand. Negative 1. Because there's a bracket, it tells us that the whole thing is the base. So we would write negative 1 times negative 1, correct? In B, what is the base? Negative 1 or positive 1? Positive 1. This negative is in front of the power. That tells you that the power is negative. So it's actually negative, and then we write the power. 1 times 1. It's not a negative 1 as the base. It's just 1 to the power of 2. Your answer will be negative 1. Your answer here will be positive 1.
Oh, yeah.
There's a difference. What's your answer in this one? Because the negative is outside the bracket. So again, this is my power. What's 1 to the power of 2? But I have a negative outside the power, so the answer is negative 1. This answer was negative 1, and this one was positive 1.